serious. This is what whole families are judged on. This is the Great British Fish Pie. This one is not only super cheap, but it is literally one of the best ones I've ever made, and I like to think I'm a little bit of a fish pie aficionado. So, let's kick it off. Friends, brace yourselves for a dirt cheap family favourite. Over here, this is kind of what's going to save the day. The freezer. Using frozen food is usually loads cheaper and saves you money because you only use the quantity that you need. Plus, because it's frozen when it's super fresh, it's packed full of the good stuff. Now the trick here is to use inexpensive frozen fish, and I've got haddock and salmon. If you're going to grill a piece of fish, roast a piece of fish, steam a piece of fish, then yeah, use fresh. But if you're going to make fish cakes, fish pie, croquettes, what's the point in using fresh if the frozen is cheaper, delicious, and actually, in the way that you're going to cook it, it won't affect it in the slightest. Get your fish pie started by dicing up 2 carrots and 2 onions and let them sweat in a large pan. On a medium-high heat, just keep stirring it, look after it, love it. Plop the frozen fish into a pan, and I'm going to cover it with about 500 millilitres, you know, pretty much it's a pint of milk. The fish needs to poach for around 10 minutes, which gives me time to make my sweet pea mash. I've boiled a kilo of potatoes and I've got 400 grams of frozen peas. I'm going to drain these boiled potatoes over the peas just to sort of quickly defrost them. Blitz the drained peas in a processor. Mash your spuds with a knob of butter and a little lemon zest. Just that little gesture, half the zest is more than enough. And then combine the two. Of course, again, we're increasing the veg in the dish, which is gorgeous. Fish loves a bit of the old peas. By spiking the mash, the top half is now as delicious as the bottom half. Oh, amazing. Frozen peas, potatoes, bit of lemon zest, butter. Done. Once the carrots and onions are nicely browned, add 2 heaped tablespoons of flour and a big dollop of English mustard. And mean it, boom. Then pour in the flavoured milk from the fish poaching pan. And this is going to be an awesome, awesome sauce, I promise you. Next thing, frozen spinach. These little bad boys make the best cream spinach gratins in the whole wide world. They've been cooked, they've been wrung out with water, they've been washed, it's cheap as chips, and that bag of spinach, if it was fresh, would probably be as half as big as a bathtub. Instead, we've got something that costs just 10 pence for all we need. It's all about shopping smart and cooking clever. 100 grams of spinach goes in, and they defrost really quickly. As this starts to melt the spinach, this sauce starts to get that wonderful glow of sort of green. My last bit of magic from the freezer is 125 grams of beautiful frozen cooked prawns. I think the advantage of frozen is you get a really consistent product and it's really convenient and you can just grab little handfuls of what you want. Break up the poached haddock and the salmon into the dish. I'm just going to do little clods and flakes, some big, some small. You know, remember that you're feeding, 6 to 8 people here. And squeeze over half a lemon. That just works with the fish. And some good old cheddar cheese, about 40 grams for an extra kick of seasoning. Now we can load up the delicious sweet pea mash. By doing these little divots, we're creating bigger surface area. That means when the heat of the oven's kissing around the sort of outskirts of the kind of wonky bits, they're getting crisp. 30 to 40 minutes in an oven at 180 degrees Celsius, or that's 350 Fahrenheit. That's a beautiful thing. Right in there, that's a beautiful thing. Georgie, we got a fish pie there,
yeah,
ready and raring?
Absolutely.
Let's have a little look.
There you go.
Absolutely gorgeous. Right, let's have some. Yeah, that first one is always joyful. In my house, we always have this with some baked beans. Boo. Yay, boo. So some baked beans, please, Jodine. A little bit of baked beans. Have them or don't have them. but in my house, we haven't. Who's baked beaner? You a baked beaner?
Yeah,
See, look.
definitely.
Welcome to sweet pea fish pie. Delicious. It'll save you